What's up, everybody on Facebook and YouTube? You're getting to watch the behind the scenes of the Smoke Ring Syndicate, episode 2. Got Noam Wise in the house. I pronounced that right.
You did.
Terrible with
You
names.
nailed it. Now you're good.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
All right. So you guys are getting to watch the behind the scenes. Slightly under the weather in in Atlanta here, but we're gonna push on because I can't get anybody sick over the internet, right? All right, we'll hit the intro and get started. What's up, guys? Wes the People's Pitmaster back again for another episode of the Smoke Ring Syndicate, episode 2 for 2024. Last week we sat down with Junior Urias. This time we're sitting down with the Trompo King, the king of the Trompo King, Noam Wise. Noam, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Good morning, good morning. So, the Trumpo King, that is the product that you brought to life, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. I wanted to kind of learn more about who Noam is and what your barbecue influence was. Did you grow up in a barbecue household, or was it something you turned 30 and you had to make a decision on barbecue, or World War II, or how did you get into the barbecue game?
I would like to say that I grew up in barbecue. I didn't. I always enjoyed barbecue, but my parents didn't really understand what it was.
Hmm.
Uh, it wasn't until I would say about 10 years ago that I really got into making my own barbecue. I would frequent a lot of barbecue places and find my little favorite spots around the country when I traveled
Okay.
or wherever I lived. But uh, I'll give you a little history of where my barbecue obsession came in.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor who was in the military, and he was renting for I don't know maybe 6 7 months, and then he got deployed. This is about 10 years ago, and he goes, I can't bring my smoker with me. It was a little box gas smoker, and he goes, I'm going to show you how to use it, and then go ahead and make your family some meals on it. And
Yeah.
he showed me a brisket, he showed me pulled pork, he showed me a couple different things, and I started using it. I'm like, this is really amazing. This is
Yeah.
I think it was like a, a a very generic brand from Home Depot, a very small
Yeah.
box smoker, and it just took off from there. The love of barbecue just hit me, and
Yeah.
I started attending egg fests and different observing different barbecue competitions, and I'm like, yeah, this is for me. This is a great hobby to have.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, and what do you do in your are you full-time barbecue, or do you have something else you do as well?
So I'm in the finance world. I've
Okay.
worked on Wall Street. I've worked for different brokerage houses, and my business partner and I have a small niche that we work with hedge funds, and that's something I've been doing for over 20 years.
Okay.
Barbecue just
So
happens to be
a
just my passion.
release.
Yes,
Okay. A little
absolutely.
bit of a release because I imagine that is not a stress-free position.
Correct.
So getting into barbecue, basically getting into barbecue through a hand-me-down smoker, and you start doing a little bit of traveling, a little bit of egg fest, a little bit of barbecue contests here and there. Did you just think I've got to find something that I can contribute into the barbecue world, or was it something you were cooking at home and you had kind of a makeshift Trompo King at home and thought, perhaps other people want this as well? How did you get to a Trompo King?
So here's the birth of the Trompo King. Those are great questions, but my family and I, we were vacationing in Mexico City,
Hmm.
and there's a little street in Mexico City where everybody, all the vendors, street vendors, little kiosks and little stores, they sell al pastor,
Hmm.
tacos al pastor. So we probably went, I don't know, 15 to 20 little kiosks, and we
Yeah.
see them shaving down, the big trompo. They're called trompos there. Uh, they start shaving down the meat and putting it into the tortilla, and we're like, how do we make this at home? This is amazing.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who's a machinist, and I said, "Look, can you make me a square pan, a 10-inch square pan with a spike through it?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Sure. What are you using it for?" I said, "I'm going to cook on it." He goes, "Okay, I'll make it out of stainless."
Yeah.
And we marinated some pork, and then we layered it up and stacked it, and we put it in the big green egg. And lo and behold, we had tacos al pastor for the family.
Yeah.
And the very first video, this is in 2016, the very late 2016, early 2017, I made a video of it and it went viral. The thing just went berserk, and people were like, "Where can I buy
Yeah.
one? Where can I make one?" And there was a few of them online, but they didn't have the plate didn't include like a lip on it, so all your juices just ran out on the grill.
Yeah.
And part of that is keeping all the goodness, the pork fat and the different 18 different seasonings that go into it. So we made one. It went crazy. I went to my machinist. I said, "Can you make me 1,000 of these?" And he goes, "No, I can't. Maybe I can make it 10 or 15 at the most." So I ended up finding a group out of Texas that made us our first 1,000 units. We sold them in just an early short time, a few months,
Hmm.
and then we started doing different versions of it to perfect it, because some of them were warping, some of them, the spike was too thick, it was leaving too much an impression on the meat, and we tweaked it, and here we are 7 years later with our fifth version from Mr. Barbecue.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, under the weather. So, five different five different designs to get to what you
Mhm.
guys are doing today.
Right.
Um, is this a is your end game with this to retire and take Trompo King, um, on the road, or what's your goal with Trompo King?
So the end game is not to retire. I'm a
Hmm.
serial entrepreneur. I love building companies. Trompo King is just one of them, and it was never intended to be a business. It was just intended to make Al Pastor with my family,
Yeah.
and it turned into a business. But we do have a 40-foot travel bus that's fully decorated. That my family and I travel the United States and spread the love of barbecue. We try to compete in competitions. I don't make food pretty. It's very difficult for me to enter the FBA or KCBS. I've done a couple of them. I'm not that technical when it comes to making food pretty. I can make it tasty, but not pretty. But we
Yeah.
travel and we do these green egg festivals, and we did one for Primo. We did quite a few others, a lot of charity events that we like to enter as well, and just cook. And just it's to me, it's not about my technique. It's about watching
Yeah.
people eat the food and walk away with a smile. You don't see people eating barbecue with a frown.
No.
They're always eating barbecue with a smile, and
Right.
that's what clicked it for me.
Yeah. So it's about spreading um, the love of barbecue for you. It's not even necessarily, how can I turn this into a bigger business or more products or anything like that. So,
I,
where
we
you
we
said
have
7 years?
we've been doing this 7 years. We have 17 SKUs, meaning 17 different items on our website. We've
Okay.
created seasonings because someone in Utah can't get guajillo peppers to make the al pastor. Um,
Okay.
my older son, who he created a gyro blend, so you can make a gyro on the Trompo King, the
Hmm.
Greek style of
Yeah.
shawarma or al pastor. And then my younger son created a shawarma seasoning, so you can make shawarma on, or the dirty Donnie,
Hmm.
as Mel will call it. Uh, and all the proceeds from these seasonings go to their charities that they support, and they all are related to barbecue.
Okay. So it's definitely giving back in more ways than one. Um, So talk to me about, because I've seen the Mr. Barbecue and then I see Trumpo King. What's your
Mhm.
relationship there? I mean, I'm assuming they're a distributor.
So Mr. Barbecue is the largest and probably one of the most successful accessory barbecue companies in the world.
Hmm.
I've met them, the Zemmel family. They came to one of my barbecue competition charity events. I invited them over. We didn't have any business relations at the time, about 2 years ago, and we just hit it off. They're an amazing family. They make amazing products, and they said, "Why isn't Trompo King become part of the Mr. Barbecue family?" And it clicked. It was a perfect opportunity because
Yeah.
we were self distributing. You know, we'd have warehouses. I'd go to the warehouse every day, fulfill 20 orders, 10 orders, 5 orders, 30 orders, or whatever it
Yeah.
might be. And then we went to a then we had a warehouse out in Kansas City, and we had employees, and it was just it was very difficult. It was
Yeah.
super difficult to manage, and we really needed a professional company like Mr. Barbecue to take us to the next level. Not that we were
Hmm.
looking for the next level, but the opportunity was there. And
Yeah.
we're in Lowe's, we're in Home Depot, we're in Ace Hardwares, we're distributed online.
And
There's
that's
bigger opportunities for us.
yeah. And that was all like in the last 2 years because of Mr. Barbecue, or were you kind of already headed that direction?
We were heading that direction and needed to grow. We were busting at the seams, and the opportunity was there. But Mr. Barbecue was a perfect choice for our company. Their their whole team, they're up in their headquarters is up in New York, and we took the bus up there last summer, and we just had a blast with them. Everybody there, every single one of their employees is handpicked, and they're just amazing people, from their marketing department to the shipping department. Just great people.
Yeah. So, so you got the Trumpo King, and you've got several other SKUs.
Mhm.
You mentioned you're a serial entrepreneur. Have you got more ideas coming?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
more ideas are coming. There's it's nice working with Mr. Barbecue because I could work with their engineers and say, "This is what I'm thinking. Can you build it? Can you make me a prototype?" And then let
And that,
me let me do the R&D on it.
yeah, and that was kind of what I was wondering if, because they're doing your manufacturing, I wondered if you were able to tap into what they do to kind of produce, you know, products and kind of develop, do the R&D through
Yes,
them with the prototype. So that is something that's kind of offered to them
right.
through them
And we
rather.
also invite friends and family and the barbecue family and the barbecue community. If you have an idea that you want to bring to life, call me, email me, text me, whatever it is, and I will introduce you to the engineers at Mr. Barbecue. And maybe they could bring your product to life and bring distribution. We've done that quite a few times, actually. Every
Really?
every every single item that you see, Mr. Barbecue has thousands of SKUs. Every single one that you see was brought to life by the engineer, or the marketing department said, "Hey, we need something like this," and customers are
Hmm.
asking for something like this. But yes, I wouldn't call it a Shark Tank at all. It's nothing like that. But it's more of, you have an idea. I'll let you pitch it to Mr. Barbecue. They like the idea. We'll go to the next step.
So almost like a partnership there.
Correct.
So Trumpo King and Mr. Barbecue, kind of a match made in heaven. Are you guys available internationally, or
Yes.
is that something you guys are working on?
So
Or are they
prior to COVID, before Mr. Barbecue, we had dealers in France, Italy, uh, Spain. Uh, I think we had 14 different throughout Europe. We had 14 dealers, and during COVID, we couldn't keep up with the manufacturing.
yeah,
The item, people were cooking at home. They wanted different options. The Trompo King was selling quite a bit, and we just couldn't supply enough. So we stopped selling to dealers at the time, and we were just only
mhm,
doing direct to consumer business. We're bringing that back, but yes, we do have partners in Australia right now, partners in London. that do light manufacturing and the building of the Trompo King and light distribution.
Hmm. So they're are they building them over there, or just kind of distributing what you guys are building here?
They're finishing the product. They're finishing the
Okay.
product in Australia. It's for shipping purposes.
Okay. So you came in with the stainless steel because to begin with you had, a friend that did stainless steel work.
Right.
Um, was it always in your head that it's going to be stainless steel, or did you ever think of doing like a cast iron style setup, or I mean, is it got to be stainless steel?
So what you'll see now, if you go to Amazon and you type in Trompo King, you'll see about 30 knockoffs. They
Hmm.
don't say Trompo King, but they're similar products. And if it's not made of stainless steel, you're going to have leaching of metals, especially with the seasonings and the high temperatures, some high temperatures that you're using. You have to
Hmm.
use a commercial grade, cooking grade 304 stainless steel. You have to,
Okay. Yeah.
or equivalent. There are other cooking grades out there. But if you buy, I've seen people use paper towel holders to make their al pastor, and I'm like, guys, that's like nickel. That's leaching into your kids' food. You're killing them. Like, don't do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we actually do have a cast iron prototype, but you're talking 17-pound ship weight, and
Yikes.
here's the Trompo King, right? And you have
Yeah.
your three different spikes, but the benefits of cooking on cast is that your whole meat, all the meat that you're cooking is in the pan. When you're cooking al pastor or shawarma or gyro, it's all on the spike.
Yeah.
So there's really no benefit of having a 17-pound cast pan. We've tried it. We've done it quite a bit, and then your shipping costs are through the roof, and you're not getting the full benefit of using a cast pan, only a cast
Yeah.
spike.
Yeah. I just didn't know if that was something that you guys had explored, and I kind of
Sure.
figured it was something you explored a little bit. But the cast iron, I was just kind of thinking like, well, I guess that would be like a super long term stuff. But 304's, pretty well indestructible as well.
Right. We have Trompo Kings that are out there 7, 8 years. People send us pictures of the OG, the first square tacked pan that we have.
Yeah.
Still perfect shape. You can see that I use this one quite a bit, and all you have to do is take a little baking soda or barkeeper's friend, I believe is what they call it. Rub it around, and it's brand new. You won't have
Yeah.
any of the staining or any of the discoloration from the heat.
So So you got because I remember the original ones, they were kind of square with just a post in the middle.
Right.
You've added the I guess the mesh in there as well. Is that
Yeah.
just to
So we
keep
have
it off for non-stick purposes, or
well, it's not really for non-stick. It's you don't want the meat going all the way down on the pan, which is going to cook a lot faster than the ambient temperature around because the pan's going to get hotter than the ambient. So the grade is
okay?
actually to keep the meat off the pan, and you could also put veggies on the outside if you want to put onions. And what we were doing in the beginning, in the birth of Trompo King, was we would slide an onion or a piece of pineapple on the bottom,
Hmm.
let that absorb all the heat from the pan,
Yeah.
and then the rest is just all even cooking
Okay. So you could, I mean, theoretically, you could still use the trompo without the little
without the
mesh
grate.
catch.
Yep.
Just a grate. You can just pop an onion or a hunk of uh, pineapple or something like that on it
Sure.
to keep it off
Sure.
of the pan itself. Okay, that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that onion, after it absorbed all the fat from the meat that you're smoking and all the seasoning, and it has that nice char to it. That's my
Hmm.
favorite piece. That really is my favorite piece right there, a vegetable.
Making onion tacos over here.
Oh, all day long.
So you started this company itself, um, and just with the help of friends and neighbors to work, and you've taken on a distributing partner. Is it
Mhm.
something that you can see starting your own Mr. Barbecue one day, or you think you'll always run through them as a manufacturer? Um, and are they doing all your other SKUs as well, the seasonings and all that?
The only thing that Mr. Barbecue does not do is the seasonings.
Okay.
They handle everything else. We manufacture out of New Jersey. We have a small co-packer that manufactures our seasoning, and uh, they ship it here, and that's enough to manage. We buy it 500 units at a time. So like for example, here's Pit Boss Gabe. This is his Euro seasoning right here. Let's see if I get it straight. There we go. This is his Euro seasoning, made out of New Jersey, all U.S. spice source spices, and
Hmm.
this is his own formula.
Yeah.
And we have the picanha. Picanha was one of my favorite cuts of beef that ever existed on the planet. So
Yeah.
I made this is my own personal touch to it, but we infused sea salts, coarse sea salt, with garlic and some other seasonings in there. And picanha traditionally, we I know the tradition is salt only,
Yeah.
but
So
I wanted a little kick to it.
okay. So it's a little twist to it. So it's
Right.
semi-traditional, but not 100% traditional.
Correct.
You said 17 SKUs.
We have 17. We have gloves. We have accessories for the Trompo
Okay.
King. Uh, we lowered we working with Mr. Barbecue. We were able to drop and lower our manufacturing costs, and we also lowered the cost to the consumer by 20%, even with the inflation and increase in prices. And on top of it, now it includes the grate and an extra
Hmm.
spike. So you get an extra spikes. Now you have 3 spikes. You get a grate, and we were able to drop the price by 20%.
Okay. So, and that I'm sure that helped get into the Home Depots and the Lowe's as and all that, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah, they handle that side. I don't really handle those meetings, but yes, I'm sure the price point was important.
Okay. Well, such is going live with me. Um, any upcoming Trumpo King events?
Yes. Yes. So all our events are posted on our website, trompoking.com. Scroll all the way down and you can see where the Trompo bus will be. We post not only our road trips, but our stops along the way too.
Hmm.
We get invited and we get to meet a lot of people along the way, which is barbecue family. There's nothing like it in the world. They're the
Yeah,
best,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
I've made amazing friends and amazing lifetime friendships along the way. So our next event is going to be it's on February 3rd. It is the Sarasota Egg Fest. The venue this year is actually on an island called City Island, Sarasota. It's it's one of my best events that I like going to. It's the
Yeah.
Pinecraft guys. They're a big green egg dealer, but they have everything. They really do. And we're gonna head up to Sarasota on Thursday, which is 2/1. We're gonna meet and greet some people and go enjoy some barbecue. Then we're gonna roll the bus to the egg event, and then we're gonna turn it around because we're back in West Palm the very next day, cooking in. This is actually an FBA sanctioned cook. It's the first kosher barbecue that I'm going to be entering competition, and it's here in West Palm
Okay.
Beach.
Okay.
So
So
we're going to do
you
back to
mentioned
back.
competing.
Yes,
You're competing?
I am. Me and my boys. Yeah, they're 16 and
Okay.
14. They'll be
Okay.
competing, helping me out, and we're going to see how we do.
Yeah. Well, I say you had mentioned earlier you didn't make pretty food. I was like, Oh, what's he gonna do?
I try. I
Competing?
try. Right. No, I have personally competed in several events in Florida. So have my children. They're like I said, they're 14 and 16. They've also competed. Uh, we had a lot of help in learning.
Hmm.
Rob from Runners Barbecue, amazing family. Him and Amy, just amazing family. Tillman, Tillman's Barbecue. We get to shadow
Yeah,
them a little bit and kind of learn. Well, this is how you trim. This is how you slice. Ugly
yeah,
Drum Smokers. He's a great guy. He showed me how to do chicken. So these are all people that I get to meet along the way, and everybody's so encouraging to say, just get in there. I'll show you. Just get in there.
yeah,
I'll teach you certain things. I won't teach you everything because I don't want you to beat
yeah,
me, but I'll show you the little tips and tricks of it, which I loved. I
yeah,
absolutely do.
yeah. Absolutely. Competing is a lot of fun, and it's even
Yes.
more fun when you win.
That's true. Yeah, when you get that call, we did get a call last year. We were in a it was a people's choice call. We've had several calls up on stage for green egg events as well, but there was this
Hmm.
one that we did in West Palm Beach. It was a pork it was like a porkapalooza kind of thing. Everybody got pork and you had to make your best pulled pork, and I think we took sixth. Yeah, as a group we took sixth in that.
Not bad, not bad. So, so the Trumpo King bus, you're competing out of the bus, or do you have another trailer?
No, no trailer. We compete out of the bus. We bring one smoker. Actually, it depends on it. We don't have a trailer. We have a platform on the back, and I'm able to put
Okay.
either. I don't carry the big green egg because we already had one shatter from a rock on the road, so
Yeah,
that one didn't go well. But we do have an ugly drum. We do have a cotton gin smoker. We have several others that we do use, and we roll one or two of those with us, and then we carry a razor griddle, which is a griddle flat top that's also
hmm,
manufactured by Mr. Barbecue for razor griddle. And yeah, it's our sleeping quarters. It's thing's a beast. It's
yeah,
fun to drive down the road with.
yeah. I've seen a couple of clips and videos of the massive Trumpo King bus, and I was like, that just looks like something I need to do that for my summer vacation.
Yes, yes, we do. We make work vacations out of it, and so when we do travel from point A to point B to point C, we make sure we stop at and support a local barbecue store, a shop. We support a local barbecue accessory or an outlet, whatever they have selling different grills. We make sure we stop, we introduce ourselves, say hello, and buy something.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine that bus decked out the way it is, parked in front of your barbecue store is probably helpful too.
They do enjoy it, and we do enjoy it as well. We'll go into the most remote camp. We were in the middle of Pennsylvania, and someone goes, "Hey, where's Pit Boss Gabe?" I'm like, "That's my son. That's my older son." I'm like, "He's in there. Let me go grab him." People recognize us. People want to talk to us. They want tips and tricks on barbecue, and I'm probably not the best person for a lot of that stuff, but I could at least offer, or I could call up Captain Ron, or I could call up Dark Side of the Grill Mel, and
Yeah.
say, hey, got a question for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it all started from a little hand-me-down electric smoker. Who would have thought, right?
That was it. About 10 years ago. That was it.
You've moved pretty fast in 10 years, I gotta say.
If I could learn the competition, I would like it a lot more. I need to focus and spend the time. My brain's all over the place all the time. But if I could hyper focus on with a couple of those guys out there that said they would show me competition barbecue, I think I could do something. I think I could put a
Yeah.
dent in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have aspirations to compete in the KCBS and all that, like on a highly competitive level, or is it just opportunity?
I think in the next couple of years, if I do exit from my day-to-day financial services, I think I would go on tour. You know, get the kids to college, get them out of the house, and then my wife and I would go hit the road and see what we could do.
Okay. So it's a possibility for you to be a full-time competitor
Sure.
and chasing the points and all that fun stuff.
I think that's a possibility, and I see like Tillman and his wife, and I see Rob and Amy at Rum Runners, and I see them partner together, and I love it. I think husband and wife teams are amazing, and they do very well. And
Yeah.
it's not always my palate that works. My wife's palate is superior, and I think
Yeah.
she really brings a lot to the table when it comes to recipe design and pairings. It helps me out a lot.
Yeah. For sure. So we're gonna table it at this point, and we'll
Okay.
kind of hang it up for the day. Guys, if you've enjoyed this week's episode, I would appreciate a review, a like, a share, and as always, keep smoking. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to add that I can edit into the rest of the show?
I love the barbecue world. I love the barbecue fam. I love the barbecue community, everything that it stands for, especially when we support charities and organizations. Check out trompoking.com, follow our schedule. I'd love to meet you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I got one more, and I don't tell anybody ahead of time what this is, but I do a virtual cookbook episode at the end of the year. Um, can you share with me a holiday dish or something that you cook in your family that's something that you guys just expect on the table for Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, you know,
Sure.
whatever winter holiday you choose to participate with?
I celebrate it all. I love all holidays. I'm not highly religious, so I celebrate everything. But I got to tell you that the family favorite is the trompoed prime rib, the 7 bone prime rib gets put on the Trompo King,
Hmm.
and it comes out amazing. And the last one you'll see that our Christmas cook that we did, it's posted on our Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. But it's stacked up on the Trompo King, and it there's something about vertical smoking. Vertical smoking
Yeah.
only has been around for hundreds of thousands of years. It's only
Hmm.
when a company in the 50s who made charcoal grills said, "Let's take your meat from this and let's lay it flat."
Yeah.
The rest has been vertical cooking.
Yeah. So, any particular seasoning blend that you would use on your prime rib, or is that top secret?
Nope, not top secret at all. It's actually the Trompo King, the TK picanha seasoning
Okay.
with butter. Yep, we make a compound butter, and as it's cooking, we just add different portions, and it just melts on top, goes around.
Hmm.
It's only an hour and a half cook or so.
Yeah. So you're cooking vertical all the time. You're either on the Trompo King or you're hanging stuff in the drum. Yeah.
I prefer vertical cooking, but there are opportunities. It's a little easier to make a brisket horizontal
Yeah. That's
and the
fair.
pulled pork. But yeah, there
That's
are
fair.
certain things that I prefer vertical cooking on.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate your time and
Sure.
hanging out with me. Everybody, you guys can see the behind the scenes of the Smoke Ring Syndicate. We were here with the Trompo King and not, I can't get your name for to save my
Noam.
life. Noah, my brother's
Yes.
name is Noah, so I'm like, I want to put the on it every time.
Totally hear it.
No,
Yep.
I appreciate your time. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm hoping that this coming year is great for the Trompo King, and I
Thank you.
didn't know that I could get one at the Home Depot, so I may be making a trip this afternoon because I've seen them. I haven't gotten to put my hands on one, and I mean the fact that it's right up the street, how can you not, right?
I appreciate that.
All right, buddy. We will see you next time. Facebook, thank you guys. YouTube, thank you guys. And as
Thank you.
always, keep smoking.